Hi, friends. So, the little congregation that I serve here in Arlington is very proud of its history, as it should be. And the folks here helped found the county's food bank that serves hundreds of families every week now. The church opened its doors to support groups for people with AIDS in a time when most places shunned such folks. The leaders in this congregation helped draft the theological rationale that helped move the entire denomination to open the way for ordaining gay and lesbian church officers and pastors. So, yeah, the folks here have a history that they're proud of, and they should honor that. But I was not thinking about any of that stuff yesterday morning when I walked into this room a little after 9 o'clock, and it was 52 degrees in here. Now, 52 degrees is really nice outside in a mid-February Sunday morning, but inside it is a wee bit chilly. I was pretty sure I knew exactly what had happened. You see, there's a bright red switch marked emergency switch. Let's see if I can get that there for you. Yeah, emergency switch. Yep, there's this bright red emergency switch right next door to the boiler room door downstairs. And it can be mistaken for a light switch other than the fact that it's bright red and it says emergency switch on it, but every once in a while somebody flips that switch, and when someone does, it turns off all the heat. Sure enough, pretty easy fix, but it is a long, slow process to heat up a room the size of this one. And so by the time we got to the end of worship yesterday, I think we made it all the way up to like 58 degrees. You know, we often talk about the church in institutional terms, and old heating systems and inattentive building users are part of that. But that's also not what I wanted to talk about today. Not exactly. We do talk about the church in institutional terms, but we also talk often about the church in spiritual terms, and we talk about our faith in the same way. But gathering for worship when it's barely 50 degrees in the building reminds me that we are the body of Christ. We are flesh and bone and blood and sinew, getting together like this, virtually, across waves and wires, does have its own value. But even when we gather like this, we do so in physical spaces. I'm sitting in the sanctuary. You're somewhere else, but you're still somewhere in physical space. Moreover, we're both in constructed space, at least insofar as the infrastructure that allows us to do this, the wires and systems and all of that stuff, is constructed. It's built. So even if you are lucky enough to be in the great outdoors on a beautiful day, you're still connected in a built environment. We experience our lives, even our so-called spiritual lives, in and through these bodies, which, as it turns out, takes me right back where I began. All of that history of this community, feeding people, welcoming the outcast, giving voice to those long silenced, all of that is a way of honoring bodies, of saying bodies are important, and standing in awe of the experience of the presence of the divine, even in chilly bodies singing hymns through chattering teeth. Have a great week.